Blessings and peace to you. This is SB Favor Thinking Podcast, and my name is SB Favor. How are you doing today? It is Tuesday, December 19th, 2023. Another wonderful day and another day to be thankful. And as I always say, if you focus on what is good, then you can project something good to happen. When you focus on what is good, it is very beneficial to focus on things that build you up, things that help you feel good about yourself, thoughts to help you to project something good to happen, because there are no, when you're thinking about negative things, when you are thinking about something negative, there are no benefits in that. So in fact, when you're thinking about something negative, it's going to drag your mind and your spirit down. So focus on what is good, because there are many, many benefits to focusing on all the things that build you up. That's why I always say this at the beginning of the podcast. Positive thoughts can create positive results and positive manifestations. Yes, when you focus on what is good. If you are out there traveling about today, this afternoon, this evening, please keep yourself safe. Keep your family members safe. Make sure you say a prayer. It's important to pray. It's important to not be distracted by being on your phone in the public. Yes, we do have to use our phones. But when you are on your phone in the public too much, it becomes a distraction. So please stay focused. Don't be on your phone. Keep yourself safe and keep your family members safe. It's the holiday season, and you want to be focused when you are out in the public. So please keep yourself safe. And make sure you use that hand sanitizer and use your mask in different situations if you have to. Why? Because people are still becoming ill. It's flu season, and you just want to be safe. So keep yourself safe. I always remind you of these things because I care. So do your part. If you'd like to give to the podcast, you could give at Cash App, $SB Favor, or you can give at Venmo at SB Favor. Once again, if you would like to give to the podcast, you can give at Cash App, $SB Favor, or you can give at Venmo at SB Favor. And the word name SB Favor is SBFAVOR. Okay? All right. Also, I want to mention to you, if you are one of those people and you like taking or drinking, I should say, energy drinks, coffee, you like drinking energy drinks and you have a good workout, or at the beginning of your day, you like to just drink something that helps you to have a focus or something to just start your day. Well, I would suggest that you use Magic Mind. Magic Mind is an energy drink that enables you to have more focus, have more energy. It's a good drink. It's a very good drink. Magic Mind, it has B2, B3, B12 vitamins and other types of content in the drink that is helpful. It does have a little caffeine, but it's a good energy drink. So I suggest you try Magic Mind. You can find all information about Magic Mind at magicmind.com. And if you would like to purchase the product, you can purchase the product at magicmind.com. And make sure you add magicmind.com with SB Favorite Thinking number 20 for a discount. Once again, if you would like to purchase or try Magic Mind, you can find it at magicmind.com. And make sure you add to that link SB Favorite Thinking with the number 20, and you can receive a discount. So just wanted to share that with you. I do have an inspirational quote for you, and I just hope that everybody is having a wonderful day. That's my hope. It's the holiday season, and everybody's preparing to give gifts and be kind and do some charity work, because a lot of people do charity, volunteer work during this season. And I just hope everybody has a have a good holiday, a safe holiday, more importantly. Well, my inspirational quote is this: in every moment, you can choose peace and love, or you can choose conflict, which leads to more divisions. Think about it. It's better to use this moment in time to love. I'm going to read that inspirational quote again. In every moment, you can choose peace and love, or you can choose conflict, which leads to more divisions. Think about it. It's better to use this time to love. Well, that inspirational quote is simply stating that we get to choose in every moment to escalate a situation or de-escalate a situation. We can de-escalate conflict or escalate conflict. When you have a misunderstanding in your relationship of any kind, relationships of any kind, we get the opportunity and choice to choose to escalate conflict or de-escalate it. Because when you de-escalate conflict, you must tell yourself, I'm going to choose the path of peace and love. In this very moment, when you have a misunderstanding with someone, you can choose peace. You don't have to choose conflict. You don't have to choose to escalate conflict. You can choose peace. You can choose love. Because when you choose to escalate conflict, then it becomes something that you don't need. I'm not saying that conflict is totally a bad thing, because sometimes, we do need to have or address certain types of issues, and there will be conflict. But I'm talking about choosing to have the right spirit and the right mindset to de-escalate something that could lead to more conflict. So in every moment we get to choose. And when you choose to function in peace and with love to de-escalate conflict, then there will be more unity. You get to choose how to function in this very moment based upon what you think and what you say and what you do. So you don't have to function in a place of animosity or anger and strife and resentment. You don't have to function in those places spiritually and mentally or verbally. It's a choice. And I know sometimes it's a little difficult because some of us, we get angry quick. And then some of us become offended quickly. But you don't have to. You get to choose according to what you think, what you say, and what you do. So choose to operate in a place of peace, in a place of love, because if you don't de-escalate a situation, it's going to cause more division. Division in your family, division in your friendships, division in your relationships. You don't want that. Don't let something that's very, very small become something very, very big. A lot of times people have misunderstandings in relationships. People sometimes have conversations and they don't resolve what needs to be resolved quickly. They leave things unresolved, and then now they don't want to talk to each other. They block each other on the phone, and they don't want to communicate at all. Well, if you don't resolve it quickly, you are basically choosing more division. Why more division? Because the time that you could be using to love that person, you are choosing to be separate from that person. And I believe that all things can be resolved quickly. Yes, some things sometimes take time to be completely resolved. If you choose to function in a place of peace with that person, you will have an opportunity in that moment to love them. And I say this because tomorrow is not promised to none of us. Why should we take this day for granted and not use it to love? People that are separate from their family members and friendships and couples or whoever, people are divided and have decided not to talk to each other, not to resolve situations and circumstances between themselves. Some things are difficult to resolve because it's more complicated sometimes. But then there are small things that can be resolved. I'm talking about those small things. The more complicated issues, yes, some things have to be resolved over time. I understand that. And then sometimes people have to get counseling and all that stuff. And counseling is beautiful because we get to sort things out. But there are some small things, some trivial things that are just, as they would say, petty. You can resolve quickly. And if you decide not to resolve something that is so small so quickly, you will miss the opportunity to love. What if that person that you love so much passes away? You're choosing to be selfish in a moment when you can be choosing to be more loving in the moment. Because tomorrow is not promised to us. And every moment that we have with friends, with family members, we should choose to love. Choose this moment to love. Because we should not take this moment that we have for granted. When people decide not to talk to one another because of something that's so small and they decide, oh, I'm just not going to talk to her no more. Oh, she looked at me the wrong way, so I don't want to talk to her no more. Oh, she said something that I didn't like, so I don't want to talk to her no more. Let it go. Let it go. Whatever it is that you are holding in and thinking about, let it go. I'm sure you love your brother more than that small thing. I'm sure you love your sister, or your cousin, or your aunt, or your uncle, or your friend, or your husband, or your wife. I'm sure you love them more than that small thing. Let it go. Because walking around and harboring all of these thoughts and walking around offended and walking with resentment and all these unhealthy thoughts that's not helping you or anyone else, it's just not good. You get to choose what happens in this moment. You can choose this moment to love and to have more peace and to create more memories. Or do you want to choose this moment to have more chaos and more confusion and more division and more craziness in your family or your relationships? Think about what I'm saying. Think about what is important. Sometimes some people are so selfish, they don't even want to let anything go. They have created this throne in their mind and their heart and made themselves to be God to the point where they just can't forgive nothing and nobody. And something happened when you was 10 years old and you still walking around holding it in your heart. Let it go. Let it go. I'm laughing because in some situations, sometimes I observe people and I see that it's so easy to just resolve certain situations. It's easy to resolve. It's easy. It's not anything complicated. The more complicated stuff we need to pray about, we need to get counseling, we need to do all the things that are necessary to jump the hurdle. And when I say I observe, I'm talking about I watch different situations on social media, and I just observe social and human behavior constantly, and I see how people function. I'm not a critical person, but I observe to learn, and I examine myself as well. But I observe to learn because I realize that sometimes when we hold grudges and when we choose to walk in unforgiveness and we don't choose the love, or we don't choose peace, we make our lives more complicated. We make things worse instead of better. When I was younger, there were times when people said something that I didn't like or did something that I didn't like, and I said, "Oh, they said this to me. I don't want to be bothered anymore. I don't like them anymore." But as I grew older, I realized that these small things, it doesn't mean anything. If a person says something I don't like, that's their problem. It's their problem they said it. If in the moment I don't like something, I could say, I don't like it, but I don't have to stop talking to them. I'm not going to like everything everybody says to me, but I don't have to stop loving them. If I don't like something, I just suck it up. Meaning I just deal with it and get over it quickly. But I don't have to stop talking to them. But what I will do is change how I deal with them. But I'm not going to stop talking to them. I'm not going to stop loving them. Because I told myself, and I tell myself this every day, I am choosing a path of peace, and I am choosing a path of consistent love. Because peace and love breeds healing. And when we are willing to do our part, God will do the rest. So there are some things that may have offended you. There are some things you don't like. Let it go. And choose this time that you have to have more peace and more love with your friends and your family members. If you don't like something, it's okay. You don't like it. But get over it. Don't walk around holding on to it in your heart and your mind. They said this to me, and I just don't want to talk to them. You don't want that. Let it go. If you don't like what they said, okay, fine. You don't like it, but don't carry it in your heart. Let it go. Like I said, there's a lot of things, there's been a lot of times some people have said things I didn't like. I didn't like it, but doesn't mean I'm going to carry it like a bag on my shoulder. Oh, there, I see them at the party, and I remember what they said when I was 10 years old. Yeah, I remember what she did to me 20 years ago. Oh, I remember. Stop it. You get to choose this moment to love. You get to choose this moment to have more peace when you let it go. Let it go. Because the more complicated things, yes, we have to get counseling, we have to pray, we have to do the work in those areas. But those small things, let it go. So that is my inspirational quote. And I have decided to talk about this because this is the holiday season and families are going to be joined together. Friends are going to be joined together. And we just all need to be mindful to focus on what is important. Because the petty things, the small things. Don't let that destroy your love and your relationships with your family. Don't let it destroy the love that you have in your marriages and the relationship you have with your children and co-workers and friends. Don't let the small things destroy the love. Be mindful to protect the love that you have in your relationships. And how do you protect it? You protect it by covering one another with love. When somebody says something you don't like, when somebody do something that you don't like, just let it go. Learn to just take some things, and I'm not talking about just allowing people to do whatever they want to you, but I am talking about the small things. Just let it go. Let it go over your head. If you're irritated by something, figure out why are you irritated. Because obviously there's something you need to work on the inside. But most importantly, the small things that are not important, don't give your attention to those things. Think about something else. Focus on something else. When somebody do something that is not good, or if they say something that's not good, just let it go over your head. Forgive quickly, let it go, and just move on. Functioning with wisdom and do your part to stay free from all the things that stop you from loving. Because this moment we are in, this very moment, is passing by. Tomorrow is not promised to none of us. I had a cousin that passed away on Thanksgiving Day. And I was in total shock. And I said to myself, we got to cherish every moment. Because tomorrow is not promised to anyone. And we must understand that this moment is valuable and it's important when you choose to love. There are some small things so many people have kept. Small things they have kept in their heart. And those small things has stopped them from loving. And now, because those small things has stopped them from loving, they struggle to love. So let nothing choke the love that you have in you. Use this moment to love and stop harboring and holding in these things that stop you from loving. When it comes to your family, when it comes to your friends, when it comes to just people overall. We are living in a serious moment. And when I say a serious moment, I'm talking about understanding that time is passing by. We're living in a serious moment because there's a lot going on in the world as well. But time is passing by. The clock is ticking. So use this moment to love. I have to keep saying that because I know that I am talking to someone that needs to hear this. Put away the trivial things when it comes to what you like and what you don't like and what somebody did and how they did it. Get rid of it. Get rid of the thought. Get rid of all of those feelings. Just get rid of it. And reset. Tell yourself, I'm going to focus on what's good. I'm just going to love them. I'm just going to get rid of it out of my mind. I'm going to let it go. And I'm just going to love them. That also could mean loving them from a distance too, however you choose to do it. But most importantly, do the work on yourself so that you are not carrying all of that garbage in your mind or your heart or your spirit. Do you know what a grudge looks like? Or unforgiveness? Do you know what it looks like? I'm going to give you an example of what unforgiveness and grudges look like. Unforgiveness and a grudge looks like sewage. Now I know that's a very disgusting thing to look at and smell. But unforgiveness and a grudge, that's what it is. It's sewage. It's waste. It's disgusting. So, you don't want to smell like that, nor do you want to look like that. So, whatever you are holding in your heart against someone, if someone has wronged you in some kind of way, I understand some things don't feel good. But whatever it is that was done, just tell yourself every day, I am letting it go. I am letting it go to have a better heart, a better mind, a better spirit, and a better thought life. Tell yourself that. And as you start that process of forgiveness, you will start to look better, feel better, and be more free, in your spirit. So I'm going to read that inspirational quote one more time before I conclude this episode. And the inspirational quote is, in every moment you can choose peace and love, or you can choose conflict, which leads to more divisions. Think about it. It's better to use this time we have to love. That is my inspirational quote. And I thank you so much for listening and taking the time to tune in to SB Favorite Thinking Podcast. If you need to reach me, you can reach me at sbfavorite@yahoo.com via email. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can find me on Amazon Audible and YouTube, Apple Podcasts. I'm all over, iHeartRadio. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click like, click the bell so that you can receive a notification each time there is a new episode of SB Favorite Thinking Podcast. And once again, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you share, and share again this podcast with others. Thanks again for tuning in. Talk to you soon.